Hello and welcome to Show and Sell, the show that celebrates digging through other people's
Trash!
Hello, Trash Dragons. I am Chris, Trash Dragon of the West. This is my guitar, Mr. Blankenship.
Hi, Mr. Blankenship.
Hi, Mr. Blankenship. Oh, I'm losing my stuff.
Yep, you lost your power somehow. A Delilah somehow swept into your house and stole it. And Mr. Blankenship reminded me that I sell on eBay, mostly media, but also on Discogs.
And I'm Katie. I'm Trash Dragon of the South, and I sell mostly clothing and accessories, but I shop for anything super unique and sparkly.
And I'm Joe, Trash Dragon of the East, and I shop for anything I damn well feel like, as you'll see. And also, I would just need to point out that I did not get dumber because I got a haircut.
I said you lost your power.
Yeah, well, that's the only power I have, let's be honest, is my fleeting intelligence. I don't have any other powers besides that. It's certainly not my Jeff Bezos charisma.
Right. Wow. Oh, you're so beautiful.
I actually thought about what I could do if I could actually be a Jeff Bezos body double.
That probably pays pretty well. I have also realized that I could be a body double for, oh my goodness, who's the very unique actress? She was in Orlando. She's in also Tilda Swinton.
Oh.
So I'm also putting that out there. So we got Jeff Bezos and Tilda Swinton if they're hiring.
Unfortunately, my body double is dead. It's the guitar player from Steely Dan, Walter Becker. Which
that's a shame.
I had when we were at the Onion, I had a bunch of people telling me that to my face, and I have had 3 people tell me that just out in the wild, including about 2 weeks ago in out in the closet. Yeah. I was just gonna hang out the back of Steely Dan concerts and just be like, "Oh, ladies, how you doing?" I'm just chilling here, trying to keep it real with real folks like you.
Both of the women at a Steely Dan concert, we flocking to you.
But let's move forward to the thing that brought us joy. Us joy. Katie, why don't you go first?
Okay. I actually had a pretty cool find at a thrift store recently-ish. So Oliver has decided to grow his hair out, and he's doing a whole Ralph Macchio thing with bandanas or Axl Rose, depending. So I had a bunch of bandanas, but there's something about buying bandanas at a thrift store because they're, number one, have been washed a million times, so they're super soft. Do you know if you can get lucky and I'm not talking about, this is the classic, right?
Yes.
The classic.
Yeah.
But it's been washed 1,000 times. So it's so soft when you wear it. And then this was the real find. I used to work at a vintage store in Santa Barbara. That was the coolest place ever. Rest in peace. I don't think it's there anymore. But the owner would buy very specific items, and one of the things that he would look for was vintage bandanas that were a different pattern. So these are very old and sort of threadbare, but they all have really unique patterns on them. And I got lucky and I found one at a thrift store. It is so soft. It feels almost like merino wool after a while. It's like that cotton just gets brushed and brushed and brushed, and then it's the softest. So anyways, I found Oliver a really cool vintage bandana time.
That's awesome.
It's Karate Kid time. Yeah.
Yeah. For Joe, why don't you go?
I got this piece of crap bandana. No, I'm just kidding. That was just in my back pocket. I actually have this bandana in my back pocket because when I'm working at the flea markets, I will often need to do the old.
Do it.
I often need to do this because otherwise the hat I'm wearing will drip sweat down. So I'm just kind of like a little bit like a
we all know how hats work, Joe.
A little bit like a line cook.
I wasn't sure. Could he explain more about hats and the inner workings of them?
And how sweat just pours off of them.
Wait, I have a question. How soft is that bandana though? Because back pocket bandanas are a whole other ball game. Because then they rub against denim and they get super soft. Sorry, apparently I'm obsessed with the texture of bandanas.
No, that's fine. It's not very soft. It's not a great one. I do have a great one that's also not very soft that needs to be worn in, and it's like it's a bandana of the state. It's the flag of the state of Arizona.
Oh, that's cool. See, I would like a flag one. All right, or I would like a flag one. Period. But I would also like a state, like if it had the bird on it or something. I would be interested, or a big map. That'd be cool.
I have one other one, and then I'll move on from bandanas. Yes. I'm sorry, this wasn't. I've just turned this.
This is not the item of joy about bandanas.
Your item of joy into mine, and I'm sorry. Yeah. But I also have another one that's like a map of the Kickapoo River Valley in Wisconsin. Oh, wow. So you can like wear it and use it, and you can use it as a map as well.
Oh, well, that's cool.
That's amazing.
Okay, well, you guys can just F right off. No one cares about you. Listen to Joe's bandana. Good job, guys.
No, I love your bandanas. I'm sorry, Katie. I really, I'm a bad person.
But we try to upstage each other here, either subtextually or overtly. Is that your item, Joe?
No, my item is this old garbage lamp. No, it's a lamp. It's got some nice mid-century accents on it. I got it at a yard sale for $5, and very excited about it. If you are possibly one of my customers, I did not get it for $5. I got it for $300. So, but yeah, it's a nice like gold sparkly mid-century lamp with these like little crown. Here, I'll hold it against my shirt so you can see it better. It's got a crown accent to it. It's got a crown accent
to it.
The
crown.
Yeah. And what about you, Chris?
Yeah, why don't I go? I have. It was a very exciting time last week because I got to meet Katie in person for the first time. So now we know what each other smells like. The final context clue is there, but she brought me the 3-headed trash dragon.
I've had
so if you guys are like ever flake out on me, I'm just gonna do a show like this, like. So, what did you bring, Katie? Well, I brought some piece of garbage. Oh, that's too bad. Joe, what did you bring? I also brought garbage. Oh, no. I'm going to have to save the show, as always.
I like how you made yourself the middle dragon. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Everyone's fine with that. Joe, what I should have done is brought your dragon to Chris to make sure it got shipped. I thought about that the minute I left. I was like, why didn't I just bring both dragons?
Yeah, you should have.
I can under extreme pressure. Like if I know there's a deadline, like I could ship this today, then I'm great. But so selling online is fine. It's just when it's not a deadline that it's like, oh, next year sometime he'll get his dragons. Meanwhile, Joe has sent me lovely scissors, lovely packages. Chris has also. I'm the dud, but not anymore. Delivered in person.
Not a dud. But I also like when she was over, she got to see my wall of photos of people I don't know that are framed that I buy secondhand. And I found a really good one, I think after you were here, which is this one. It's a little baby holding a baby.
Why does that girl have her hair set like an adult?
I don't know, because people are weird. But the weirder part is I got it from a box of stuff like a couple houses down from me, so it's possible I might run into the person.
It's possible you know that person.
I don't, but just because I kind of know the neighbors well enough to know who I know and who I don't. But
sorry, they put a box out on the street to be taken.
Yeah,
and this was in that box they put a family photo of children. Didn't take it out of the frame. We're like, you're dead to me in the box.
Goodbye, kids. Yeah, apparently they both went to college recently.
Yeah, that's
just snap it in front, like just snapped in front of them.
Yeah, you don't put that in a box of free stuff. You put that at the bottom of the garbage can so nobody catches you. You know,
exactly.
Amber doesn't pull up and is like, "Mom, are you mad at me?" No, honey. Why would I be mad at you?
I'm not mad at you. You just look so different.
passive aggressive LA is in full swing. But we have a really special segment coming up next. We have Eric Drysdale, and he'll be bringing some special things in our next segment, the Trash Dragon of the Week. Trash Dragon of the Week. Rawr. Trash Dragon of the Week is Eric Drysdale. Trash Dragon Eric. Hey! You are a comedy writer. You've written for Stephen Colbert and for both The Report and the Late Show and a number of other things and you host salons about one of the items we're going to talk about in the future. But I wanted to kind of just get a sense of your thrifting history, like what's got you started, was there a time where you really got into it? How did you get started?
Yeah, I mean, I was always interested in one thing. I realized our family moved around a lot, so I wasn't as a kid or as a teenager allowed to accumulate anything. So once I became an adult and had my own space, and could buy things that I wanted, I made up for lost time. And so I was going out to flea markets, as soon as I, it started when I was a teenager. I'd buy clothes at a flea market, things like that. I lived in Vancouver in high school a little bit, and I would go down to the legendary Bellingham Valley Village where all the grunge guys got all their shirts and stuff. And I didn't get any shirts there. I just happened to go there. But I've just been into it for a long time, and I was collecting vinyl records pretty heavily when I got turned on to this 3D stuff, and basically all the other collections went away, and I focused mainly on this now.
What drew you to this, the 3D, there's 3D slides, or there's another name for them, is that right?
Okay, so these are stereo slides. These are what I collect, specifically not these ones that look like this. And
the mono slides,
not mono slides, and not Viewmaster reels, though it's a kind of similar technology. There's this camera, the Stereo Realist camera, that came out in 1947, and it was like a mass market 3D camera. They were in about 1 million American homes, these and ones of different manufacturers at the height of their popularity, and it took 3D pictures, and people took 3D snapshots, and they're out there in people's closets and flea markets and estate sales and things like that.
And you're there to snatch them up.
Yeah. And this is the viewer.
Were they typically sold as a set when that
came
out?
The viewer and the camera were sold as a set. Yeah.
And how much was it at the time? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I do. In 1947, when it was introduced, as $162, and then this was $24 more. So it was a pricey item in 1947.
Yeah.
So it's like $1 million in today's money.
Pretty much.
Okay.
About $1,600, but somebody's fancy camera,
So what do you look for when you're I assume you can't people aren't selling. I assume when you go and find them, or if you look online for them, people aren't selling individual slides so much. So You're just kind of, is it do you have anything specific you look for, or is it like a crapshoot? You just you find a box, you're just I'll sort through these later.
It's mostly that. I've got on eBay. I can usually tell by the 2 or 3 photos that they post whether it's going to be worthwhile or not to get the whole lot. And then I don't really see them that much at flea markets and estate sales anymore. Very, very rarely. So, and really at this point, I see so much of the same stuff. I'm really just filling holes now, things that I want to see. I don't have any pictures of somebody asked me this weekend. I don't have any pictures of Catskills or Poconos resorts, which is strange because it seems like the market would be the same, but I haven't found any of those. So I'm always on the lookout for certain subjects. I don't have super great pictures of Las Vegas, so I'm always on the lookout for those.
So you've taken pictures before, and in that case, you're buying blank. What are you buying? What goes in the camera? What kind of film?
It's regular. It's regular slide film. The thing that happens is that instead of sending it in to get processed into 35 millimeter film, slides like these, you have to get the film back as the strip, and you have to cut it up yourself and then put it in these mounts, which is a huge pain in the ass.
And now back in the day, though, back when these cameras were popular, I'm assuming, though, that was like regular practice at a photo developer shop that they would do that for
absolutely.
you.
So yeah, generally, like if I find one in cardboard mounts like this, it's something that the person sent off to somebody to be mounted. But if they're metal like this, if they're in these metal mounts, there was like a mounting kit so that you could, and they're like a little thicker and they have glass on them. And that was probably mounted at home by the person who took the photo. This one's not because it's a commercial slide, but generally.
Do you remember the first time that you found one?
Like, yeah, so it started I was sent to then she was my girlfriend, she's now my wife, to her grandmother's place to clean up some film stuff because I had gone to film school. She thought I might recognize some of the film equipment, and the film equipment was worthless. And but I had never seen one of these before. And never seen the camera, but there was the camera, the viewer, and a bunch of pictures of her family taken between 1949 and 1952. And I was totally blown away by them. I ran downstairs from the apartment to get batteries for the viewer. Like I saw that it was like and cleaned it up and made it work. And it was a really magical moment to see these photos. It's quite startlingly realistic. It feels like it kind of brings you right face to face with them, and so I was hooked right away.
I didn't know this existed. Like, yeah, I mean, I would have been shocked too. I didn't know this existed. Like,
a lot of people didn't. I didn't know it existed at the time, and that's why I go to such trouble to share it in these salons, because it's sort of this forgotten piece of history and of photographic history and American history, and the really only way to see it is this kind of really complicated and way that I share it.
So you do these as salons, and you present them to people live. Can you describe a little bit of that?
I have 12 people usually, and each of them get a viewer like this, and then people just pass around boxes of slides and get to look at about 150 of them over the course of the night at kind of their own speed, ask me questions about it, and really get to experience this thing that otherwise there would be no way of experiencing.
Actually, I just went to the salon. Eric came up to my neck of the woods last weekend, and I got to see him. I got to see a salon, and it was really just. I mean, I try not to be like pile on too much, but it was really just. I literally almost was crying at the beginning because these tableaus were just so rich and beautiful, and like the colors just popped so much because. One thing that you mentioned in the salon is that like they used Kodachrome film, which maintains its color better than any other film stock, like negative or positive. Like, and just like the subject matters were so good. You could just sit there and you're instead of a photograph, you like look at something and it's like, okay, yeah, that's. But here, like you're drawn in so much, like you were drawn into this world, and it's just so amazing. One of my favorite slides of it was a girl swinging. She probably was like 10 years old. And then, she's like, so she's the main focus of it. And you don't realize like, until you look around in this, like until you sort of like your eyes follow, like, dart around and like you investigate the slide, that in the background 2 yards over there's a truck that's marked explosives right behind her. And it's just like such a crazy, it's amazing. It's like it's a piece of life that you just like can't imagine was captured in such a way that to like, and this is the only place to see it. So if you if you get a chance to see Eric's salon, you have to take it because it is so worth it. It's so incredible.
We'll put all the info to get it in the show notes. So
I do have one coming up in the New York area at the Morbid Anatomy Library on August 22nd.
Why don't we go into? You brought some slides, so why don't we move into that? So the first slide I'm seeing is just this portrait of a woman smoking. So yeah, why don't you talk about that?
It's kind of very typical of kind of one of the better kind of just casual shots of somebody doing something that I find, just kind of to give an example. These are really, they happen to be in 3D, and they happen to be extremely immersive and vivid, but they're just people snapshots.
I just love having these like little moments of people that like this mattered to someone, and there's
Yeah.
something special about that. And that's what I always say. I want on my gravestone. I got your stuff. Here lies Chris. Got your stuff.
Yeah.
We are going to look at the fish delivery slide.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a guy bringing fish to someone's house, like almost a milkman, but fish.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Do you research the background of these, or
sometimes I know, sometimes I don't know. Often there'll be like, here, this one says, Bernie, 1956. That was written on it. April 1958, Mike helping move. But a lot of them don't have that, and I don't have any information. That one just said 1952 albacore delivery.
Are most of your pictures in the United States? I'm wondering, was
almost
this also
exclusively.
popular, like in Europe?
I kind of don't collect like people's like family trips to Europe and stuff, just because they're not showing themselves. They're not showing like it's like this, the capture of America, the flavors of American life is what I'm really interested in.
Right.
And this seems like an American thing, but how long was this popular? When did this kind of fall off? Because it seems like maybe it was a period of time.
It's sort of, there was always like a core group of people and that was interested in and did it. Probably the early 1960s, when color print film sort of became more and more available, both color slide film and especially color 3D slide technology kind of fell out of favor.
Mm-hmm.
But the Photographic Society of America Journal had a regular column on 3D photography into the 60s.
Do you have any other items you brought on that you want to show us?
I also brought. I also have these two pictures I brought of the. So that's the bulk of my collecting. But this technology is also used a lot in sales and industrial uses. Like, for instance, this is one of the most widely distributed one. This is the Oldsmobile Futuramic 3D theater. It's basically the whole line of Oldsmobile rockets from 1952, and dealers could order this, and it would have like the whole line, because you couldn't keep all of the different variations, paint jobs, and things like that on the lot. So each dealer would get one of these and be able to show their clients all the viewers. So there's the first one that I have in there is from some toilets from Briggs Beautyware. So you'd have like a door-to-door plumbing fixture salesman who would come to your door with one of these and a viewer and a bunch of slides of toilets. But my big treasure in this area is, and I know that all trash dragons love things that look like other things. So this is the grand treasure of the collection. This is the Do-All bandsaw company, and this is a case made out of metal, probably made by the Do-All company themselves. And it opens up, and inside is slides and the viewer, and all the different slides of the various models of Do-All saws. So,
those are amazing.
Incredible thing. Yeah, I think.
Is there anything else, or should we move on?
I do. I have one more weird thing, because it's such a weird use of the technology, and it's not something that I usually collect, because there were commercial versions of this. It was like the way the Viewmaster did. It would tell like a story of the Three Little Pigs or whatever, and you could buy just like a little viewer. And using that technology, I just found this last year at the official 3D Con, which was in Buffalo, New York last year at the trade fair. This is a child's rosary, and it's got this cool like 1960s design. This is from 1961, and so it has a booklet, stories from the rosary, and just like little stories, and then it's got the slides. And then it's got the viewer, which is green for some reason. You can see it's like there's a cavalry cross. And just to make it super fun, it comes with a rosary. So the kids can enjoy it. So
It's a
I had to
rotary
buy that
gift
because it was just so odd.
That's amazing.
Could
Yeah.
you imagine being a kid and getting that set as a birthday gift? You'd
I
be
know.
like, "Thanks,
It's so crazy.
Grandma." That's
Thanks.
I had hoped seeing this kind of whitish green color that glowed in the dark, but it doesn't.
That's a missed opportunity.
just to make sure, like, let the kids not sleep at night thinking that, you know, God is always watching and glowing around them.
One other quick question. I swear to God, this is my last one.
Oh, let's see.
You made a, this is more of a statement and leading you into a discussion. You actually made a Viewmaster set, a real set.
I did.
From FEEET, as I recall.
Yes, actually, I have. Hold on. Yeah. So yeah, in 2010, I made a my own 3 real Viewmaster set of this action adventure comedy with it comes with like a little booklet. And you could go to edrysdale.com and email me, and we'll make a deal.
But anyway, let's move on to our next segment, Joe.
It's called Tales from the Flip.
Tales from the Flipped. Tales from the Flipped.
So, Tales from the Flipped, we have our topic, which is what's something that you only really search on eBay. I thought of this partially because Eric was talking about how he mainly finds this stuff on eBay, and I just want to, eBay is thrifting too, people.
Online thrifting.
So, Joe, why don't you go?
Well, I mean, the thing I usually get, actually just bought. I almost bought it as my item of joy, but I opted instead for my stupid lamp. But anyway, I found most recently I found like I was just like, oh, I mean, one thing I'll look for is like specific books and comics, for example, because I was just like, I like to support my local bookstores, but sometimes I just like, I just want to get a used copy. I don't want to spend a ton of money. And so I was looking for a copy of this Alan Moore comic called Neonomicon, which is, it's kind of just I'm not going to endorse it because it's very rough and difficult. But I also really like it a lot. So anyway, so I went on, I looked for it, and I saw somebody was selling an entire lot, like an Alan Moore lot of 85 books. And so I was just like, and it was an auction, and I was like, I don't do a lot of auctions these days. But anyway, I won, and it wound up being a great deal. And I love, so I'll look for specific books, or else I'll look for unopened packs of trading cards, because those are both like, I flip the trading cards because there are trading cards that literally have no value, like the Iditarod trading cards, for example, that I can sell in person. Like if you see a pack of Iditarod trading cards, you're just like, that's unusual. And it's $1? Sure, why not? It's just like impulse buys for weirdos like us.
Success. It's the Snickers for us.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Katie, why don't you go?
I search mainly. I get a lot of glitter on eBay.
Okay.
Lots of glitter. Bulk
But you
glitter
also have
on
a lot
eBay
of.
is better than anywhere else. eBay is like the place. It's random, and multi-chrome. So if you're looking for items to paint with and stuff like that are powder form that you're turning into a paint, eBay seems to have the best shipping. And then also I have a lot of specifically British brands that I like, that eBay's the place because of international. A lot of the other resale shops I have don't have international. It's only, North America based. So it'll be Canada and the United States. But eBay specifically is all, it's everywhere. So I'm able to find certain designers. So those searches I have about 50. That's what we should do, is post our saved searches on eBay.
Yeah. So that other people can steal them from us.
I also only search for lenticulars on eBay because I specifically look for purses with lenticulars in them so that they freak people out when you're walking around. Do you have strong feelings, Eric, about lenticulars? Like, is it the bad brother of?
Not at all. Not at all. I love lenticulars, and I don't collect them. I have a few, but yeah, I love them.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're all in the same family. Yeah,
As all good people do. I'll go so we can save Eric for last. But like the thing I collect on, I only really search for on eBay is mostly CD lots. I like to buy like.
Oh yeah.
You can get like some really good deals where people are just like, I don't know. Like I bought a bunch of like soundtracks are good to find because a lot of times people will like a lot of times they're garbage where it's just like Bad Boys 2. But a lot of times if there's someone who has is more interesting, you'll get all these like Japanese Ennio Morricone compilations or like kind of like early 80s CDs soundtracks. Sometimes you'll find the For Your Consideration CDs, which I always like to look out for.
So if there's a bulk, there might be gems in there, is what you're saying. Like if you can get like 20-pack random CDs, and then there's going to be IAC. No, it's exciting. It's a treasure hunt in a treasure hunt.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly.
And then when it comes in the mail,
you're like, ooh, what did I get? Exactly.
Surprise. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Eric, what's something that you search for on eBay?
Well, I mean, I really mainly use eBay to find this stuff, the 3D slides. I have two eBay saved searches, but for a long time I had three, and I had an eBay alert for. I realized I think it must have come through in like 2005, so I must have started it was like 8 years waiting, and I had in the late 90s I got really into the comedian Spike Jonze from the 1940s and 50s. Mm-hmm. And I had an eBay alert and a thing came up and it was the Spike Jonze Junior drum set. This Junior City Slickers drum set. And it was this toy drum set with Spike Jonze on the bass drum. And it went for like $400 in 1997. And I was like,
no.
So I just put an alert on and I never saw another one again until like 2004, 2005. And one came up and I think I paid like $150, $200 and it was just the bass drum, but I got it. And this is my Junior City Slickers bass drum.
That's
and it's on my wall. And I think I've seen one since. Come up on eBay. So I'm very, very pleased that I got this.
When was that made? You said the 1950s?
I think 52, 53.
Okay.
That's the best kind of payoff when it's a specific search and then it comes to, that's the best.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
And it's a price that's like, okay. It's not like it comes up and it's $1,000. Like,
I think I was the only bidder on it finally when it came up.
Love it.
That was amazing. Sometimes I ask this question, but I think I'm going to definitively say we did it. This is a A+++ 5-star episode. 2 thumbs up.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yay! Thank you. A third party who has nothing to gain by telling us this has just told us it's a 5-star episode. So
perhaps the greatest episode on YouTube of all time is what I'm inferring.
You'd be wrong.
Wow, that's a really big compliment.
You're saying we're better than Sexy Sax Man, Sergio Flores, because that's a tall order right there.
Is that the guy from Lost Boys? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Sexy Sax Man Sergio Flores is you should just look up.
Okay,
it's basically a guy who just comes in and he plays the Careless Whisper sax line in public spaces. Anyway, talking about a YouTube video is not great, but go look up Sexy Sax Man Sergio Flores.
Right.
I can't recommend it enough. And what I recommend more is this episode that you just watched.
Exactly. This episode, Sexy Sex Man. The video of Ron Livingston doing a completely accurate keyboard cat reproduction, which is like insane. Like the best part was he had like for years he only had one video on his YouTube page, which was that for 9 years, and then he added another video. So I'm gonna play the closing song that everyone loves more than anything. Thank you for watching Show and Sell. If you remember, hit like, share, subscribe. But if you don't, everything is gonna be alright. And if you do, things are gonna be a little bit brighter for us. There's an algorithm controlling all of our lives. Thank you for watching Show and Sell. If you remember, ring the bell. All right, thanks for the jam band, guys. We'll see you next week. And thanks again, Eric. And bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, thanks for coming, everybody.